Hey again, Eric here from LED Grow Lights Depot. Today we're taking a look at the Phoenix 680 watt by Spectrum King LED, released in March of 2022. We named this Best New Light in our Best LED Grow Lights of 2022 video. The 680 watt is part of the Phoenix series, which also includes a 340 watt veg fixture, an 840 watt full spectrum fixture, and a 1050 watt full spectrum fixture. The fixtures differ in the number of bars, light output, wattage draw, and spectrum, but have the same dimensions of 47 inches by 43 inches. The veg light is best suited for a 4x4 veg. The 840 watt is ideal for a 4.5 by 4.5 to 5 by 5 foot area, and the 1050 watt is designed for a 5 by 5 to 6 by 6 foot area. These fixtures are designed for vertical racking, grow tents, or open rooms in home or commercial grows. The Phoenix 680 watt and the rest of the entire Phoenix line is extremely lightweight. The 680 watt is only 20 pounds, which includes the light and the driver. A SOSIN or U-Power Tech driver, Spectrum King uses both, sits on the bars and is removable. These drivers have been shown to have some of the best surge protection on the market. The boards are also protected from a power surge. The driver includes RJ12 connections for hooking up a 0 to 10 volt controller and daisy chaining these fixtures. A dimmer is typically not included with the light but can be added for an additional cost. Spectrum King chose not to integrate them into the fixture since they wanted to design the best grow light with no weak points. The dimmer ranges from 100% to 10% and switches to off. The Phoenix 680 watt draws 680 watts at the wall at 277 volts. When I measured this at 112 volts, I got a reading of 683 watts at an amperage of 6.06. The plug type is available as a NEMA 515 120 volt, NEMA 615 240 volt, or L715P or 20P, which are for 277 volt applications. The lights are also available in 200 to 480 volt by special request. The total light output of the fixture is reported at 1,870 micromoles per second with an efficacy of 2.75 micromoles per joule. The light will flower a 4x4 area or a less intense 5x5 foot area. The optimal hanging distance for flower is around 18 inches with a range of 12 to 24 inches in most applications. Expect a heat output of 2,320 BTUs per hour from this fixture. The Phoenix 680 watt is DLC listed, ETL NCE certified, and IP65 wet rated. There's a 5-year manufacturer's warranty included with the purchase of this light. Spectrum King uses custom diodes from Tier 1 manufacturers including Samsung, Osram, Seoul, and Cree. Spectrum King also claimed that these are more powerful than the standard 3030 diodes that are commonly used in other brands. As you can see with the spectrum, it is well balanced, providing healthy blue to reduce stretch and maximize terpenes, and red to stimulate growth and boost flower size. There are not any UV or far red diodes, but the spectrum provides 2% far red, which comes from the white diodes to help stimulate the Emerson effect. The LEDs are rated for 62,000 hours at Q90, which is similar to L90 but is a more complete metric since it takes into account more than just a visible light. Q90 means that the LEDs will maintain more than 90% of their luminosity for 62,000 hours. This spectrum can be used for seedling to harvest growth, but really excels in flowering. Here are my par readings that I took of this light in a 4x4 Gorilla Grow tent. Expect lower par readings, especially in the corners and edges when using one of these lights in an open area with no reflective surfaces. Using multiple lights together will result in more uniform coverage. Alright, the first reading is going to be at 36 inches above the bottom of the tent, where we're hitting just over 800 ppfd right in the center. And moving to the back, which is going to represent the center of all edges, you can see it drop down a bit, and into the corners about 615, 630 or so. This other edge about 724, and I'm just going to move it around a little bit to give you a pretty good idea of the uniformity here. You can see at this height, uniformity is pretty good, but of course dropping off in the edges and corners like expected. But at 36 inches, you could see what sort of penetration you'd be getting into the canopy. All right, the next reading is at 24 inches, so 2 feet, where we're already hitting above 1,000 ppfd in the center. So it's pretty darn good. All right, moving to the back, about 810, corners looking like 750 or so. This other edge, about 730. So less uniformity, but some bigger numbers overall. You can see as I move it around, the uniformity is pretty good. Actually really good. This is a bar light. It is covering most of the tent. So 24 inches, you could start flowering at this distance, and as you will see at 18 inches, which is next, it's going to be even better. All right, and here's 18 inches, about 1150 ppfd. Moving to the back, about 850, corners, it's about 760, and this other edge for reference, over 1,000, so about 1,025. So uniformity is still pretty good at 18 inches. So look, as I move around, it's barely dropping below 1,000. 1,100, 1080. It's just when I get to the very edges and corners, it starts to drop below 1,000. And the last reading is at 12 inches, about 1360 right in the center. Uniformity holds pretty well. Edge about, what was that, 870 or so. 760 in the corners, and maintaining well above 1,000 on this edge, about 1,250. So uniformity still pretty good. It's just on the edges and corners it starts to drop down at 18 inches. Sure, as they get closer, say 6 inches, it's really going to drop down, but I'd say somewhere between 24 and 12 inches is going to be ideal. You know, for starters, maybe 24 inches. A good average is about 18 inches, and if you really want to push your plans, I would say 12 inches. All right, and that just about sums it up. Let's move on. So overall, this is an excellent fixture. I like how lightweight it is while still maintaining a high quality feel and build. The components from the driver all the way down to the diodes are top notch. With this light, you're getting a lot of light for your money at a high photosynthetic efficiency. In other words, the price point of $729 is excellent considering the high PPF and PPE. Other lights like the Gavita 1700E are several $100s more and emit less light at a lower photosynthetic efficiency. If you need to cover a larger area or really want to maximize the potential of your plants, check out the Phoenix 840 watt or 1050 watt. I dropped a link in the description if you want to learn more about these, along with a link to, of course, the Phoenix 680 watt. Take a second to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. This really supports our channel. And we're also on Instagram. Check us out there too. See you soon.